A lot of our streams are in very poor shape.
And we're losing a lot of property because of the flooding.
Biggest stream problems we have in the state of Kentucky is that a lot, if not most of our streams have been straightened and channelized over the years. By straightening and deepening the channel, you increase the stress on the banks.
The banks were real steep.
This bank here is probably close to 12 feet tall. At one time, the channel would have probably been more in line of maybe 2 to 3 feet deep, but because of impacts over the years, such as channel straightening, dredging, and so forth, these channels have just gotten overly deep.
I was losing land, I had a building I couldn't use.
There was a large eroding bank just next to that building there. Every time the water would get up, it kept eating away his property, getting closer and closer to his barn.
And that's where we come into the picture. This is a stream restoration project under the in lieu fee mitigation program. And under this program, an entity or developer or company that fills in a wetland or stream is required to mitigate those impacts. Now, that entity can mitigate those impacts on their own. They can find a degraded stream to restore maybe on their property, or a wetland to restore on their property in fulfillment of that 404 requirement. Or if they don't have the means or wherewithal to do that on their own, they can elect to pay a fee in lieu of doing that mitigation on their own. We take those funds and use those to offset impacts from the same river basin in which those impacts occurred. We are in Lawrence County, Kentucky. We're on Upper Laurel Creek on Mr. Fletcher's farm.
I'd lose 5, 8, 10 feet of land a year.
There's a lot of work behind the scenes.
The guys doing the construction work is EnviroPro. They're based out of Eastern Kentucky. All of the heavy equipment we have is, first of all, trying to create this bankful bench that I'm standing on. At the elevation that you're at right now, that's the elevation that the top of the creek bank used to be down here. So as you can see, it's when the waters got up and tried to flood that there was no place for the floodwaters to go. All it could do was erode the side of this bank, because right here was a straight vertical face about 12 feet. Now that we've come in here with the restoration, we have a bankful bench that allows this creek to get up, lose its energy and stress up on this bankful bench, and allows it to move through the property without eroding any of the land.
Looking at what they've done now, if you'd have seen it before, you wouldn't think it was the same place. It was just straight up sandy banks.
It's a win-win for both the landowner and the sportsman of the state, and for the resource. Landowners gain a more stable stream, and one that's more natural and better for the wildlife and better for the fishery. And certainly the public gain by having improved water quality and flood control.
All of this bankful bench that I'm standing on now will be covered in vegetation. And we're going to come in after this and plant it with 400 to 600 stems per acre of willows and dogwoods to help enhance the riparian zone. There's a lot of physics involved. All of these structures that you see behind me have precise elevations on them. This structure here is called a J-hook. As water flows down the stream, it's going to hit this J-hook, and water's going to be deflected back into the center of the channel. And what this does is this reduces erosion rates on this bank right here. Also, what you see here is what's called a brush mattress. This is basically a layer of willow and dogwood branch packings, and as this grows, it's going to grow very thick along this bank, again helping with erosion. This is what the creek will look like when it's done. Here we are at East Fork Little Sandy in Lawrence County.
Now, this is a stream project that we completed about 10 months ago, or at least as far as the earth moving was completed about 10 months ago or so. Before that time, the creek was actually over here right next to the road, and we reconstructed about 900 feet of creek. We made it more meandering. We constructed a new floodplain at a lower level and moved the creek over about 50 feet.
The thing that I like the most is the amount of wildlife that visit this riparian area. This little place, it's not over 100 feet wide, but it's amazing on how much wildlife really visit it because it's specifically made for that wildlife.
Not only are we helping them, we're helping the stream life. All of these structures that you see also enhance the habitat of the stream. We hopefully will see an increase in the number of fish and hopefully the types of fish that are in this creek after we're done.
They can really help you out.
One thing that I get out of this is to see landowner satisfaction.
It's hard for people to understand that they really gain property when they give the Department of Fish and Wildlife easement. I gained quite a bit of property because of the way that they designed this. And now that the other people have seen what they're going to do, what this project does, they're all on board.
This program, I think, probably has the potential to be one of the largest programs in the department.
The boss lady, my wife, Karen, she's wanting to put in a barbecue pit and a picnic area where she can just, when we have family come in, we can come down. And yeah, after they get through, I get to come back in and do some more.
We've got a couple of excellent stream biologists that certainly know what they're doing, and they can take a look at your site and tell you whether we can help or not.